Continental Family Favourites recipe bases for clean plates.
25% off every light
Sharp enough. Lift plus. Vodafone. Make the most of now. See us pizza now. Like to make things simple. 382 open term deposit. Get us right now. It's amazing difference while we're still in.
It's a logic of seduction to a certain extent. It's a logic of fantasy. Fantasy doesn't want you to look at things in a reasonable and rational way. What advertising wants to do is to get you into a fantasy logic, and it wants to work on your desires and produce desires. It wants to address you personally. It wants to say, come here, have a look at this. And once it does that, it gets you into a logic which is completely different from the everyday. The idea is to get your attention. The idea is to get your attention very quickly and to hold your attention. Everybody wants you to pay attention so they can try and sell you something. Whether it's funny stories, whether it's colours, whether it's movement, whether it's big, whether it's free, whether it's sex, they all are meant to get your attention. And at that moment, that's what gives rise to consumption. The logic of consumption is tied up with quick turnover. I need that CD. I desperately need that CD. I want that CD. I've got that CD. I want something else. Because in a sense, once you've got the CD, the promise, the fantasy associated with the CD is nothing. And now you move on to something else. There's no satisfaction where you say, yes, I've got the toothpaste and now I'm happy. I will be happy for the next 30 years. Or I'm going out with the boy, girl, goat, whatever it is, right? And that's it. My life is now fantastic. No, you can never be happy, satisfied as you are. There's always something that has to fill you up, complement you, extend you, transform you. It's a crazy logic. It's an insane logic. It's an hysterical logic, right? And it's a logic which actually does away with thinking. And so the kinds of logics that are associated with sustainability, for instance, are predicated on, well, hold on, let's think about this for a minute. Right? Is this long term? What's going to happen? Can this be continued? What are the consequences? No. None of this is tied up with consumption. It's completely illogical, but it's also completely irrational. The only way the question of sustainability ever comes in any way, shape or form, is if somehow it can be produced as another commodity.